Ah, the Lake of Rot and the Grand Cloister. Areas in Elden Ring where all sorts of foul creatures can be found, paying homage to the ancient god of Rot and the Rot itself. I also come here to pay homage to the ancient deity of Rot, but for different reasons. As you can see, I wield the Falling Star Beastjaw. One could say I am a big fan of the star creatures. You gotta be fucking kidding. So, as I was saying, I am a fan of the celestial creatures in this game, and I admire their awesome power and abilities. And I have reason to suspect that the Scarlet Rot goddess of old may have been a celestial creature as well. There's a few reasons for this. Firstly, if you fight through all these kindreds of rot here, you see they're worshipping, kind of praying to some sort of giant statue, and once we fight through them, we'll see that below that statue you can find the scorpion stinger dagger. So as you can see here, I've already looted this chest, but if we pull up my inventory, we'll find the scorpion stinger, which is the dagger you would get from that chest. And its description reads, "Dagger fashioned from a great scorpion's tail, glistening with scarlet rot, a ceremonial tool used by heretics, crafted from the relic of a sealed outer god." Now, if we think about it, there are two other creatures in-game that have scorpion-like features, one of which is the Falling Star Beasts, of which I'm using their jaw right now as a weapon, and the other creature is Estelle, the malformed star. Now, another interesting thing about this Grand Cloister area is that if you follow this lake of rot, or this little river of rot to the end here, you can get in one of these coffins and ride it to the next area, which just happens to be the arena that you fight Estelle, the malformed star, in Natural Born of the Void. I find that to be quite the coincidence that he is so closely connected to this area. I remember when my first playthrough, I thought that was so weird that he was so closely related to this spot, but now I can't help but wonder if he's perhaps coming here to, try to unlock his kindred that was sealed away in ancient times. Perhaps he can sense that they're associated with this area, or perhaps he's coming to fight them, let them fight, kaiju style. I have no idea, but it seems like quite the coincidence. Speaking of coincidences between Estelle and the Scarlet Rot god of old, if we look at their items, we'll notice that the scorpion stinger in its description is referred to as a relic of the sealed outer god, and the wing of Estelle is also referred to as a relic of the Natural Born of the Void. I think these are the only two items I know of that have relic in the description. This Sacred Relic Sword obviously has it in the title too, but we all know what that is. Deep-fried Ratigan right there, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just find it interesting that those other items have relic in their description. And my name just happens to be Relic. I wonder if that's some kind of a coincidence. Next, I'd like to talk about the Onyx and Alabaster Lords, who, according to their item descriptions, are a race of ancients with skin of stone, who were said to have risen to life when a meteor struck long ago. Now, in my opinion, when the game refers to meteors, it's kind of like stars, essentially. Like, if you look at the falling star beasts, they're always in giant meteor craters, and let's face it, they look like big old meteors themselves. So, Why is this important? I think it goes to show that the stars have uh, a life essence to them that spawns new life around wherever they come in contact with the world. For instance, this one that we're currently fighting, it's right outside of where you fight Estelle for the second time. And if we head back to the Lake of Rot, we can find an Alabaster Lord on top of all these pillar things that you raise up. And I find this to be an odd location for him. I remember my first playthrough, I'm like, what the hell is this doing here? Looking at it now, it could just mean that Estelle is nearby, perhaps. And obviously we know that if we continue down to Grand Cloister, we come across Estelle. However, part of me also wonders if perhaps it means that there is a celestial body below this lake, close to here perhaps. Could see that going either way. But let's suppose that this Alabaster Lord was indeed here due to Estelle's presence nearby. Then I would like to draw our attention to some of the other properties of the Scarlet Rot. Specifically that it in-game is known to give birth to more life. Those Kindred of Rot termite guys that we were killing earlier in the video are born of the Scarlet Rot. Not to mention Millicent and her sisters, the Valkyries, they are born of the Scarlet Rot. So perhaps those Valkyries to the ancient goddess of Rot are akin to what the Onyx Lords are to Estelle, or something like that. So, just to do a little recap, essentially I feel like there's a lot of coincidences and star-based items surrounding the Lake of Rot, which seems very odd. It seems like very odd placement for such characters and items, so who knows, maybe we'll get a DLC where we get to fight the ancient scorpion god. It gets unleashed from its shackles. That would be awesome, so I'd love to see what happens there. At any rate, let me know what you think about my ideas. If you have any other ideas to add to it, I'm all ears. And here I thought for a little fun outro, why don't you enjoy some footage of me fighting Melania on Journey 5. And we'll see you next time.
I dreamt for so long. My flesh was dull gold, and my blood rotted. Corpse after corpse left in my wake, as I awaited its return. Heed my words. I am Melania, Blade of Mikola. And I have never known defeat. The scarlet bloom flowers once more. You will witness true horror. Now, rot. Your strength. Extraordinary. The mark of a true lord. Dear Mikola. Oh, dearest Mikola. My brother. I'm sorry. I finally met my match.